All right.
Nice.
All right. So the way the draft is gonna work, poor Brit is first pick in the draft, and I didn't think that was a bad thing until Brit explained to me that the draft loops on itself, right? So it's gonna go Brit.
So I'm not a Pokemon guy,
Yeah.
but I am a fantasy football guy.
Gotcha.
So I'm familiar with the structure of a draft. Oh, Greg just showed up.
Oh yeah.
So what that means is Britt gets first overall pick, but we've got what, 12 people?
Yes, we have 12 people.
Which means that her second pick is going to be the 24th pick.
Yeah. So yeah,
Very too. When you're in a snake draft, what you really want, at least from my perspective, what I really want is either first or second overall pick if you've got like a banger that you need to draft.
right.
But what you want is to be the very, very end of the first round. Because it's nice. You can snake around. You can get 2 good picks as opposed to 1 great pick and then like 1 mid pick.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't really. I've never done a snake trap before, so that was like new to me, and I wasn't here at the beginning. So at first I'm like, "Oh, Britt, great! Like this is awesome. You get first pick. That's fantastic." And he was like, "No, this is terrible," because he also can't like really counter pick, right? So a lot of people are going to be picking their round 1 stuff, and so I didn't. The way that the draft is going to work is that all these Pokemon are put into tiers, which you can see in the tiers tab, and they get a free of everything, right? So they get a free tier 1, a free tier 2, a free tier 3, 4, 5, and a free mega, right?
What do you mean by free?
So they all have points. Everybody has a total number of spending points. They have 400.
Gotcha. I follow.
Yeah. So what happened last draft was Mike, who's now at the end, he picked his free tier 1, and then he spent the next few rounds buying more tier 1 Pokemon.
I think that sounds like a good strategy.
Yeah. So that's what he did, and he ended up doing pretty well. He didn't end up winning, but he came in third place, I think. But so this is what I'm pretty interested to sort of start seeing.
So like Britt just picked Slowbro. So are we like broadcasting now, or?
Yeah, we are broadcasting. You still haven't picked Slowbro? I don't have any of this. Are you in? Oh, I see.
So
in the
Britt,
channel.
Right out. It's kind of ironic that we're doing the first overall pick, which would be the fastest pick, and you went for the slowest, bro.
The slowest, bro. I don't know if I've ever really used. Oh, I did. I used Slowbro in Sun and Moon. I thought that was kind of good. That was like the only time. I don't know anything about Slowbro and like what that Pokemon does.
He's the less bougie version of his brother Slow King.
That's true. Fair.
See, what happens, Drew, is when a slow poke gets its tail bit by a Shelder.
Yeah.
All right, Mikey goes for Weavile. Now, I'm a big dark type Pokemon guy, so like I fucks with Weavile. I have a shiny one in Pokemon Go.
Oh, dang. Yeah. I think Mikey used Weavile last time, and it ended up being pretty good because it's really fast too, and there's a lot of ice is pretty good in this gen at the moment.
Takes down dragons. Takes down that ghost dragon. Fuck it up.
Yeah, it's true. And it's also dark, so it goes pretty good also. It's interesting that they both picked tier 2 first.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. Like, I would imagine tier 1s and megas is where we want to be. Oh, we got a mega from Greg.
Yeah, Britt, we were just talking about how you picked the slowest bro.
So we got a Venusaur mega from Greg.
Yeah.
How's that bode?
I think it bodes pretty well. So Greg was telling me that he has a plan kind of revolved around a mega, and he was really sneaky about telling me too.
So James Boyce just picked Dracovish, which is interesting for this draft because it's the first Pokemon that I have no idea what it is. Is that the Ghost Dragon?
No. So this is a dragon type. So it's the fossils in this gen are
Oh, I hate them so much where they're mixed up.
yes. So he just picked a
Boy,
dragon fossil. Yeah, he picked the best one.
I don't care if it's the best one. Gliscor, that's a Pokemon I can respect. Ground flying type doesn't feel like it'll work, but it does. It had that whole Pokemon episode where it was a superhero. I fuck with that. I don't. James Boyce, I hope you do.
So James actually had Dracovish last draft, and Dracovish did mad work. It is actually an incredibly fast, incredibly scary Pokemon. Megamia. So Jake just picked that's like Chikorita's final evolution, right?
Yeah, that's Meganium, but it looks like this is some sort of clockwork bitch that he's picked.
Oh. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty good at live commentating them doing battles and shit. I don't know, like, I'm so out of the loop on a lot of Pokemon.
Azumarill, that's one I fuck with hard.
Yeah.
Probably my favorite fairy types, just like a big fat boy out there doing work. Gen 2 all the way.
Yeah, Azumarill has been really good since they made it fairy type, for sure. Since it can do, like, belly drum, it's got, like, aqua jet and all this other shit. And fairy type is insanity.
Yeah, dude, it's great. It's absolutely a great time.
Yeah.
All right.
So we got Wes. So, fun fact about Wes. Wes did not know that this was a singles tournament until, like, 3 days ago.
So, like, you can't be in it if you have a significant other?
Yeah, exactly. No, so they weren't doing doubles. So I guess Wes was trying to plan around it being Pokemon double battling. Since so that's really popular.
To go back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
And so when he went to the drawing board, what he came up with is, I want the psychic fetus from Gen 5.
Yeah, he wanted I really like the baby fetus, and I think that's why Wes is picking it. I think he's picking it just because he likes it. I'm so surprised. I think what they're doing is that the reason that a lot of people are picking Tier 2 is that they're trying to, like, kind of counter the Tier 1 pick. Because your Tier 1 pick is sort of like what you're going to be building your team around. And so no one wants to, like...
show their hand.
Yeah.
Except for Greg, who went Mega Venusaur right out the gate.
Yeah, but that is not a Tier 1 pick. That's a mega pick. Yeah, and I don't think anybody knows what Greg's plan with Venusaur is. I think he's been really proud and, like, sneaky about what his plan is.
What if Greg's strategy was just like, I'm going to use poison powder and sleep powder and stun powder?
It would be really funny.
He's that person in Jasmine's gym when he's just like, oh man, you'll never be able to deal with me. I'm going to put all these status ailments on your Pokemon.
It's pretty funny. We are using Smogon rules, so you can only have one Pokemon slept on a team.
Oh, so you can't just keep sleeping them?
Yeah. The game won't let you do it.
I got a T1 from Cheaty. Which steel type is he going for? Dragapult. No, now he went with the Dragon Ghost.
Yeah, that is the Ghost. Yeah, it's the Dragon Ghost.
From what I've heard from our pregame talk, that's the basic bitch choice. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good Pokemon. I was showing on stream right before we started that there's like an online tournament that all the professional Pokemon players are in. And one of the most reoccurring the most reoccurring Pokemon on their team is Incineroar. And I think that's going to be like the big spicy pick.
Ooh.
But apart from...
So we want a big steel fairy. Now another Mega, so we're not in T2. Now Cheaty went with T1, so I think he's the second pick for T1.
He's actually the fourth. It's just the other... We didn't know Megamia, we didn't know the clockwork thing, and Gliscor got up to Tier 1.
Really, live on the call. That's wild. Congratulations to Gliscor.
Yeah, that got upgraded. Oh, Aegislash, which just got added to the draft.
Oh, man. That's a beautiful Pokemon design right there. Steel Ghost type really sort of defined Gen 5, which had a lot of misses, but a lot of really strong hits.
Yeah, I always think that Gen 5, because it had the most Pokemon, it had the most success and the most misses, I think, design-wise, because it had the most to offer. I love a lot of Pokemon in Gen 5.
My favorite Pokemon's from Gen 5.
Me too.
If you guess it, I'll give you a quarter.
Okay. Well, it's probably some sort of fighting type.
Oh, you know me so well.
I know.
Fighting types. We got a Mega Metacham out there.
Yeah.
That all those hands. And he's got the double pick like we talked about with the snake, and he went Tornadius. Now that's a legendary type. Do we do that?
Yeah, so there's some legendaries. He's picking so there's some legendaries like the like Entei and the dogs and stuff. Like they're not as strong as like Rayquaza and Groudon. Their stats are like that of Dragonite.
Okay,
So
so yeah, I follow. I follow.
yeah, so that is one of them that's also like that. It looks like Jeremy is picking a Mega. So it's actually funny that Jeremy Mega Tyranitar.
So fucking dope.
I love Tyranitar. He's one of my favorite Pokemon.
Tyranitar is definitely in my top 10, probably in my top 6.
Yeah. He's great. So what's funny about Aegislash is the house of James and Cheaty both really love Aegislash, and I bet neither of them are happy that they do not have it.
Do you think they're in the same room drafting, or do you think this is one of those things where they try to be separate so they don't like cheat off each other's notes?
I bet they're trying super hard. They're in separate rooms. I bet they're trying super hard. Knowing them, they're like shit talking each other on separate floors.
Yeah, they're just like screaming at one another.
James! He took
Now,
Aegislash!
I think Cheaty's got the better pick because I like I said, I like being at the end of the draft.
Yeah.
If I'm if I'm in like a 12-man league, I want 10, 11, 12 hardcore. But if you get early, you want to go like first or second overall. You just want that champion.
Yeah. So if Slowbro ends up not being that big champion, maybe Britt can come back from it because he does get the first round 2 and round 3 pick. So if Britt sees what everybody else starts going with, maybe he just snags up some stuff. Which
Yeah, a little bit more productive.
Yeah, exactly. What's interesting about Mega Tyranitar is that when he shows up, he makes Sandstorm happen. So
Yep.
Jeremy went with a rain team last draft. Maybe this time he goes for a sand team.
Looks that way because Aegislash is steel type, so he's not going to get hit by that sand.
Yeah. So Britt might just be able to just like shut down Jeremy's plan and just picks like Garchomp. And it's just
Jeremy,
like
we're not even out of the second round, Jeremy, and I've already figured you out. That's bad news.
Yeah, which is what we were talking about earlier, that maybe people were trying to hold off on their team pick right away.
See, I get that, but I would really want if I always go into these things with my heart set on a specific player or specific Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like when I prep for a draft, what I typically do is I'll pick like if I'm third pick overall, I will pick my top 3 that I would absolutely not be mad about getting on my team. And so it's just a matter of I know I want that one. And so if you're first overall, man, like
Yeah.
or,
I know Adam, he just recently joined the league. He won the Little Cup. Yeah, so we had a Little Cup league. He only lost to one person. I mean, what are you gonna do? It was me, and I'm too good to be in the league, so it's understandable. He, yeah, but he came in with a very specific team in mind. He just picked Tapu Koko, which is the lightning bird.
yeah, that's one of the fairy types from the Lola Islands, right?
Yeah, and that just got added, so I think that's actually supposed to be a really good Pokemon.
So it looks like he's got 2 fairies then.
Yeah. Fairy type is really, really good because the stuff that counters it is like pretty easily counterable, like poison type.
Now, do you think people are going to avoid picking poison type because it's insensitive since we're in the middle of a pandemic?
No. I think people are here to win.
I like that. It tracks. How much money we got on this thing?
How much money? $0 at the moment, but like everybody's about to get like $1,000, so you can easily just put some of that down, right? So
that would actually be geek if everybody just took their first pandemic check and put it in the pot and somebody won like fucking $12,000.
But yeah, I was thinking about maybe having some sort of reward for this. I'm like, I want to see what the teams are before I put money down, because I feel like once we get to like playoffs and people like lose, they like, or like when people are in a bad bracket, they like give up. That's kind of what I noticed last time.
Now I see that, but like it's so easy to just get a little bit of money from everybody and make it a significant amount.
That's true.
Cheaty picked Jirachi.
Yeah, so that's the Steel Psychic type, right? From Gen 3?
It is. Maybe he's trying to chomp at Jeremy's fucking strat.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, he spent points for it, too. So this is the first points being spent. And he bought a tier 1. So Cheaty's doing what I said earlier.
So it looks like Eric's doing what we all expected of him, which is being financially irresponsible.
Yeah, basically. But
he's... If you get everybody to throw in $20, then that's like a $240 pot for a small league, and no one's losing their mind over $20. So you can do it without really putting people out, because everyone's situation is a little different.
Yeah. Yeah, they might end up doing something like that. I wouldn't be against it, but I'm also not participating. But I would side bet for sure. I would hardcore side bet after I see what these brackets are. After I see what these teams are. So
it's good to side bet on somebody. Well, let's do this. At the end of the second round, we'll both take a side bet.
Yeah, sure.
Both of us will throw $5 on a team at the end of the second round as our what they call that in football betting is they call that a future.
Yeah.
Like when I could put a bet right now on the LA Rams to win the Super Bowl this year, and it'll pay out huge money because it's so far in advance.
Yeah, gotcha. That makes sense.
So it looks like we're spending more points here.
For Rotom Wash, which is a really good Pokemon. It's tier 1. Really, it's the best Rotom. It's the washing machine, and it just has like a really good typing that sort of works, and it just also deals a lot of damage.
And I just don't fuck with Rotoms. Like I don't like. They remind me of chores, and like that's not what I'm here in the Pokemon world for. I'm here for escapism. When I see a lawnmower coming at me, I'm like, oh man, you're right. My lawn is fucked.
Yeah, I think at the moment it sort of seems like there's a lot of people. There was a lot of talk about going Trick Room as a team strategy because your team doesn't necessarily need to be built around it. Blastophallon.
You just need slow Pokemon.
Yeah, you need one slow Pokemon and one Pokemon with Trick Room, and that's it. So maybe that might be an inevitable strategy people start going. What is this?
That's why Slowbro was picked up, huh?
Yes, potentially. So,
now, Drew, can I be really honest with you and share a secret?
Yeah?
I don't know what the fuck a Blastophallon is.
I just looked it up. It's an Ultra Beast, and it looks like a stupid clown monster.
Nice.
Yeah. So I don't know anything about Ultra Beasts, because I beat the story mode of Sun and Moon and then put it down. And
Ooh, that's an interesting pick.
Amoonguss worked out really well for Brit's team last draft. It's a really good staller. It's just like a super heavily defensive Pokemon, and it will mess up fairy types.
Gotcha. I'm looking at Blastophallon right now. It looks like a Digimon. I'm going to be honest. It looks like a Digimon. I don't know what it's doing in this tournament. I don't know if that's a technical foul for Phil. But I mean, I would actually really fuck with this if in the middle. Oh, there's my boy, Toxicity. System of a Down. Let's go.
Oh my god. So Milo is the person who used Toxicity last time.
So he's trying to prove that he wasn't as trashy as you said it was.
Yeah. I mean, it's tier 2, but to be completely honest, that Pokemon didn't do a lot when I watched it in the tournament. Milo had another Pokemon called Toxapex, which did mad work.
That's an awesome design, too. I love that thing. The sort of coral shell thing.
Yeah. Alright. Yeah, but so what's interesting about the Ultra Beasts is that they are like designed to be something. Like they're kind of like the evolutions where like one of them has like max attack but really low HP, or like really high HP and really low whatever. Like they're like hyperized Pokemon that are supposed to come in and do one thing.
So what is Blastophallon's thing?
Oh, that's what a great question. Um,
Coming to you with the hard stuff. We've missed some picks in the meantime. Let's just go over them real quick. Love Ferrothorn.
yeah.
Great pick. Real slow. Like, that's that basic bitch strategy where you give that Pokemon Hard Hat with its special ability, and it just, like, deals a bunch of damage if anyone does a physical attack to you in Gen 5.
Yeah. It looks like people are going to be... They're picking a lot of stallers. At least that's what we've sort of seen at the moment with something like Amoonguss and potentially Slowbro.
Now, Volcanion, that's not the
It's
bug
not
fire,
Volcarona,
right?
no.
That's what I was thinking.
I think it's the Steam Pokemon? Yeah, it's this steamy Pokemon that was like a special thing. It's like water fire.
Steamy like attractive?
No, steamy like actual steam comes out of it because it's a water fire like metal monstrosity thingy.
Oh, interesting. This sort of looks like a legendary.
Yeah, it sort of does. It probably is one. Like one of the
So that's cheating.
Yeah. So there is a lot going on here. Yeah, I don't really know anything about this. I usually ask Greg a whole bunch of questions, and then he gives me his information. But if it's a Pokemon I don't care about, I don't usually ask him. And I don't think I've ever cared about this Pokemon. I think I had to go to GameStop to get it or something. It's like one of those.
So I will not support capitalist Pokemon. That's the hard stance that we're going to take. I know James Boyce would back me up on this.
That's true, he would. So it does seem like the James and Cheaty household they both spent 180 points on their second turn to get another tier 1. So
those are points that aren't going to their landlord.
That's true. All right.
Ooh, a Fable. We got our Gen 1 for all you old codgers out there.
Yeah. And so it looks like we're following the theme of another like stalwart defensive Pokemon.
Now, there's a lot of people that say when Clefable dies, it becomes a Gengar. Do you think that's true?
I mean, I hope it is. I think that's a cool idea. Gengar's got to come from something.
It's true. And that would be an interesting strategy in the middle of the game.
When it dies, it just turns into one.
Yeah, if you just put a round in the back of Clefable's head, then surprise, I've got a Gengar.
That would be great, actually. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Pokemon is moving towards Final Fantasy-esque form shifts in the middle of battles, so
yeah,
that's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Like, if there's a Final Fantasy in which a boss does not kill themselves and then come back stronger, then I'll eat my shoe.
I'm almost positive that there is.
I'm pretty sure that one of the Seymours does that in Final Fantasy X.
Yeah. I think it's just like a pretty common thing that they have like multi-phases, and the second phase of Clefable would just be like Gengar.
Yeah. It would just die, and then its spirit would crawl out of it, and then you wouldn't be able to take your Pokemon back anymore, because that's its mega ability.
Yeah. So it looks like Britt now gets to do his double pick.
2 picks in a row now. You've waited 24 picks, and now you get to just absolutely plunder the Pokemon chest.
Yeah. And there's a lot of there's not as many tier 1s left as I would have thought, but there's still like a lot of tier 1s still going on.
I'm operating on an iPad, so I'm just not going to look away from where people's picks are showing up.
Fair enough. But you got, his Corsola, which was one of Britt's main Pokemon last time. Garchomp still there.
What do you say? Oh, Garchomp, you could fuck up our Sandstorm strat over here.
That's true.
Jeremy's got his eyes on Garchomp, and there's a lot of green between him and Garchomp.
Pelipper is like the best Rain Team setup Pokemon. Tyranitar's here. Toxapex is here. And then there's a Pokemon called Landorus.
Or can you take Mega and Regular separately?
You can take Mega. I don't know. I don't think that's ever come up, but I think you can. I just don't think it's ever come up. But Landorus Theron is is the highest rated Pokemon in every draft league, according to Greg. So it's supposed to be the best Pokemon in a draft format, and that's still here and available.
So Britt's made his choice, which is Kartana, which is of course the waterbender that helped teach Avatar Aang
Yeah.
how to do water.
I think this is another Ultra Beast, if I'm not mistaken. It is like an Ultra Beast with swords.
I'm pretty sure that she is the AI that teaches Master Chief stuff.
Yeah. And he picks Rodom Heat. Yeah, so Britt picked a Ultra Beast that is grass steel.
Yeah, it looks like she's made out of origami here.
Yeah. So I guess like a paper sword samurai thing. They're really killing me with the Ultra Beasts. I don't know anything about Ultra Beasts.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we're even allowing Ultra Beasts in here. You know what I mean? Ultra Beasts, legendaries, they just don't feel kosher. But I don't know, man. I'm a simple man. I like simple things.
I think it's
fight type Pokemon.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where like some Pokemon are just so much better than the Ultra Beasts and we're allowing them in that like these guys like I don't think we're allowing all of them in, but I don't know. I really don't know this stuff.
What I'm saying is there's a reason why I'm commentating instead of drafting, because my morals and principles would get in the way of me really being competitive here. You'd see me, for the sake of my morality, you would see me pick a bunch of first stage Pokemon that I have to trick out and evolve throughout the course of the tournament. This is the way that I Pokemon. This is how I win.
you win your first match and you get to level up one Pokemon to like its second stage.
Yeah, but only if my Bulbasaur knocks somebody out.
And then it gets to Ivysaur.
So Ray's first pick, interesting. He went with
Machoke. We gotta hope that it's able to get to a Machoke and then Machamp, but who knows if it's ever gonna hit that level.
Machamp apparently has some sort of big form now these days where he gets to be a big boy.
That's true. I forget what that's, because that might be Dynamax, but I think it's called something else. I think Gigantamax. Because of course it is. What do we got? Pokemon Draft League. Yeah, so we have another Rotom being picked, and I guess this is supposed to be the second best Rotom. Apparently, according to the internet.
Do you think Brett was upset when West took Rotom Wash?
I don't think so. I think how I know Rotom Heat's supposedly second best is because Britt brought him up. I think Britt wanted Rotom Heat.
Primarina. Now, that's the Lady Gaga Pokemon, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I think almost exclusively. This is like the thing that Popplio evolves into, right?
Yeah, that's the Seal. I was wrong.
You were very close, though.
I was thinking of the green-haired legendary thing. But I do like this Seal a lot. I like the typing. I like just the design.
Yeah.
You know, she's got a lot going on. She's got a lot of confidence. Now, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of fairies coming from Mikey's later picks.
Yeah, I think so too.
Of course you think so. It's a fact. You picked two fairy type Pokemon, Drew.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I agree. I agree that he has. He picked two fairy Pokemon, and he also has like a dark. I don't know. I think he's just picking solid Pokemon. I don't see like a team. I don't think anyone's going for a team build up at the moment, except maybe like Jeremy. I don't see anybody else going for like a theme of anything yet.
So it looks like we've got Cobaline, which is the steel, the
dog, right?
Yeah, the second run of fighting dog types where they were all fighting and whatever. And James went for Pelipper, who you pointed out as being one of the best for a rain team, but it doesn't look like James is preparing for a rain team overall.
So he actually totally might be. So Ferrothorn does really, really well in the rain because fire gets super reduced.
Ah, that's
right.
A good point.
And Dracovish is dragon water, if I'm not mistaken. So he actually totally might be going for the rain team. And now he's already got good Pokemon for it. I think, so I asked Greg earlier in the week, how would you counter a rain team? And Greg said, with a grass team, is that what you're going to say?
I was going to say with a team that just does sunny day, because you can only do one weather at a time, right?
Yeah. But, so Pelipper, when Pelipper shows up, it makes it rain. So you can just keep switching Pelipper in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I was asking Greg, so if he saw this exact thing happen, what would he do? Now, Greg can't do it, but he said if he wanted to disrupt somebody going rain, he would pick Mega Marshtomp. Because apparently Mega Marshtomp is the best rain team Mega. It did insane work last draft with Jeremy, who came in third place. He used a rain team with Mega Marshtomp. Apparently, that little ground frog does work in the rain.
I believe it, because like a normal Marshtomp is a little bit lanky and gangly, but like Mega Marshtomp is swole.
He's huge.
He's massive. The gains are unbelievable. So I've got to imagine he's out here just bullying these fucking beta ass Pokemon.
Yeah. So I wonder how people are now going to be able to counter this, like if they're even going to care to counter, because now they're going to be 3 picks in a water team. Because I mean, if James gets Mega Marshtomp, he doesn't need to pick any more water Pokemon. His team's done with just those 4.
Yeah, that would be pretty solid. And then he could just stop drafting and just smoke a bowl.
That's true. He can just go chill out. He can then just go upstairs to Cheaty's room and then make fun of Cheaty.
Yeah, Eric's just gonna be up there. What if Eric? Oh man, what if Eric just put a team together of all Mew clones? That would be a great. Like if he just had Jirachi and like.
You can draft Mew.
I mean Mew. There's the big one, right?
Yeah.
You got Mew. You've got Every time I try to remember the Gen 2 one, I just
Celebi?
Celebi, that's the one.
Okay. Yeah. You have the 3 little guys from Gen 4.
Yeah, there's a lot of them in there. That's the whole deal. You just have a bunch of... Oh, we got Flygon.
Oh, let's go.
I think Flygon might be one of our first T3s, if I'm not mistaken.
There's
1 or 2 T3s have already been taken.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's our second T3, because Cobalion's T3.
Oh. Oh, look at you, paying more attention. Oh, no, looks like Milo switched it to Mega Altaria.
Milo heard us making fun of him for picking a T3 and got very self-conscious.
But Altaria is also a dragon, so... That is good.
Jacob picks Diggersby. Jacob was fast with that pick. He was ready. He's been staring at Diggersby this entire time.
Diggersby's a dope Pokemon. It's actually really strong. I had used him years ago in a monotype tournament. Because he's ground normal. And he's, I don't know, really fast and deals a hell of a lot of damage.
You know, you wouldn't expect him to be fast because he's a thick boy.
It's true, but he's also kind of like a bunny. You know, like Bugs Bunny moves really fast underground, so maybe that's... I don't know.
That's a good point. What do you think are the chances of somebody drafting Bugs Bunny?
Pretty high, honestly. I don't know. Is Bugs Bunny
Really?
anybody's favorite Looney Tunes character?
I mean, I feel like if you're asking people for their favorite Looney Tunes characters, you're going to get a lot of Tazzes.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple Daffy Ducks.
And then, someone's mom's definitely in love with Elmer Fudd. Like, that's a mom pick right there. Like,
that's
how...
a big mom pick. That's a mom pick when you grow up and you realize that you married Elmer Fudd. You look at like, oh, you're just like my husband, Joshua.
That's like you realize you married somebody like Elmer Fudd, and you just got to like just really own it. Can't walk away from it anymore. You're doubling down. Oh boy.
Mega Lopunny. So it looks like Phil is putting together the horniest team.
That's very true. So Mega Lopunny is something that Britt used last time. That Pokemon's actually super good. So it is really fast, and it has like all of the punches that like a really good fighting type would have. Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, etc.
Ooh, that used to be my strategy for raising an Abra back in the day. You could get the TMs, teach that Abra all the different TMs.
Oh, dang.
Instead of just having a little teleport bitch.
Mm-hmm. It's true. So Mega Lopunny seems pretty good because it's an all-around Pokemon. It's normal type, so it's weak to fighting. But I mean,
but it's also fighting type, right? Isn't the Mega normal fighting?
Oh, it totally might be. I'll believe you.
God, don't if you Google Mega Lopunny, don't scroll down too far because it gets horny fast.
I believe it. I believe it. I've never Googled Mega Lopunny in my life. I never would. How do I even find Mega here? Oh, here it is. It is normal fighting.
Yeah, man. You only have to go one scroll down on an iPhone, and that Mega Lopunny's got titties. And that's not.
That's true. It's very true. So, yeah, I think Mega Lopunny is a really good pick, and yeah, I think apart from maybe Jeremy, we'll see what Jeremy does. What he picks, he might just pick Garchomp or something, but it looks like everybody's picking just really solid Pokemon overall, and then like.
I mean, I feel like that's what makes for a real interesting tournament, right?
Yeah.
Like that each team is going to be just a balance of pretty strong picks, and then plus Phil's very horny team.
His next pick is going to be Gardevoir, and then
that was the next joke. I was trying to think of what the other best horny Pokemon were. It's definitely Gardevoir, and it's definitely I feel like I've seen weird fan art with Lucario.
Oh, for sure. I think it's pretty funny. Somebody did like a poll on, or not a poll, but they showed the stats on Twitter of every Smash character when you Google their porn, and they put them in tiers, and Lucario is like SS plus tier. It's got like million pornographic drawings of Lucario.
Goodness gracious, those furries. I know two things about furry. One, they're horny, and two, they've got a lot of money.
It's very true.
They're like the Mormon church of fetishes.
I know a furry in real life, and he's a very wealthy person. I don't know.
Go. I also know a furry, great friends with. This is not to put them down. Great friends with a furry who I went to high school with and I'm close with, and also is just amassed some wealth for themselves.
Yeah.
They're 30 years on Earth. They've played the capitalism game.
And now they get to play the furry game. They get rewarded with a very nice, wholesome reward.
So we've got Sableye.
Mega Sableye.
That big old rock.
Yeah.
Wes is very wealthy, also very capitalist.
So Cheaty just picked another very basic bitch Pokemon. This is another super popular pick in the current meta of normal Pokemon. This is in 4 out of the 6 teams of the finalists in the top 8 of the tournament that's going on right now. And this is all over online.
What you're saying is it looks like Eric's strategy is just to metagame, to just be good.
I think so. I think that he's picking... it's working out for him because nobody else is picking this stuff up, right?
It's true.
So he's picking really good Pokemon that like everyone else would probably just assume other people are going to pick. So he's that guy. He's that guy. Moves. Yeah.
You know what? Someone's got to be that guy. If you're just leaving value picks on the board, someone's gonna scoop them up.
Yeah.
A big part of my draft, and again, I come here not as a Pokemon expert, but as a fantasy football expert.
Yeah.
But a big part of my strategy is value picks. Looking at out of the top 10 or top 15 people left before my next draft pick, who's got the real value? Who can I really pull for?
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing. Like, it's interesting to me that we saw so many tier 2 picks early, and then some of the picks that we've had, you don't like really build a team around, and it's interesting to sort of see that I thought Dragapult was going to be gone really quick, and then I would have thought one of the earliest tier 2 picks was going to be Togekiss. It's a super popular Pokemon. It's really good.
And you know what? I think the other reason why I think he's got that strategy together is he's also been picking very quickly.
Yeah.
He clearly knows what he wants well before it gets to him. Whereas Adam is just hanging out in the sauce right now.
So Adam we got very excited when he heard about the team or about the league, and he made his team in secret, and he tried it out, and he did all this other stuff. He didn't tell anybody about it, and he was really excited. I don't know if Adam ever had a backup plan. I don't think he did. He might have, but he could. That could be why he's taking so long. Is that he's sitting around being like, well, I didn't think anybody was gonna be like crazy enough to pick
I can't
Cobalion.
I can't believe that Eric picked Togekiss right
Yeah.
before my turn.
Classic Eric picking. Who would have thought? I thought he was gonna pick all steel types again. Like I think.
That would have been the ballsiest move in the game. If you just came in like, look, boys, I know what I'm about.
There would have been so much
That is
respect.
that is Magnazone leading the charge.
I have one of my one of my highest, one of my favorite clips on Twitch is Cheaty, switching into a Magnazone and getting red so hard, and the Magnazone getting one shot immediately, and he got so pissed he rage quit. He just
See, those are the moments that I wish I could see happen in real life Pokemon training, where the tournament's happening and there's like a crowd full of people who came out to watch these 12-year-olds fight their pets, and you just have Eric just look around and just be like, "Nah, fuck you, I'm done with you guys." So it looks like Jeremy. So it looks like we've got Gyarados and then Melodic picked right next to each other. Which is funny.
Yeah. So
But basically, you've got the
yeah,
you've got the straight and the gay sea serpent right next to one another.
exactly. The very stylish Melodic is a super popular, very good Pokemon. That's used on a lot of teams. I think because it's a really well-rounded Pokemon. I guess Gyarados is good too. I don't know a whole lot about Gyarados. Apart from that, it deals a lot of damage and it's a giant fish. So that's. Yeah, it looks like Mike is getting another. Mike just got Toxapex.
Toxapex and Tangrowth back to back. So
Let's go.
what do we look? Looks like we got a lot of defense happening.
Yeah.
Looks like I don't see how Medicham fits into his strategy of picking all T Pokemon.
It's true. It does not fit into that strategy. He could have gone for all T's. That's crazy. But he did open with Mega Medicham. I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about the metagame, so I'm definitely not here to say things about Mega Medicham. But like, I remember liking Medicham enough in Gen 3. There weren't a lot of fighting types, so it was high up on my list.
Yeah.
I bet just like they just ruined it.
Yeah. I think where my brain is currently at right now with picking Mega Medicham is you take a look and it doesn't look like anybody else is really that interested in that, right? Like Jeremy picked Mega Tyranitar, which is it's like a team build around thing, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really look like his Mega Medicham pick was in contention, I guess.
Yeah, and you know what else? Oh, here's the Garchomp. Now, I was about to say the Melodic doesn't really feel like it fits with the Sandstorm team, except for that it could, I don't know, Aqua Ring and offset the Sandstorm. That Garchomp is right back in the Sandstorm space.
Yeah. I think Jeremy just picked a good Pokemon. I don't entirely know how Melodic will play into that, but it is like a nice tanky Pokemon, and if Jeremy isn't able to get a lot of Sandstorm working, at the very least he took a super good water type away from James, and he has a really nice defensive Pokemon.
Yeah, James, you're right. James Boyce is definitely feeling that Melodic pick.
Yeah. He's probably gonna rage quit pick Squirtle or something.
I mean, no one's picked Blastoise, and you talked quite a bit last time about how much work Blastoise did, which is surprising.
To be fair, it was Mega Blastoise, but yeah, Mega Blastoise ended up doing a lot of work. I'm expecting a Bronzong pick inevitably. So Greg ended up winning, and a lot of Greg's Pokemon did a lot of work. Mainly Mega Blastoise and Bronzong did an insane amount of work. That a lot of people kind of wanted Bronzong to be moved up, but it's a tier 3 Pokemon still.
Gotcha. So it was just specifically in the meta, just doing lots of work.
Yeah, it's a really solid defensive Pokemon, and it held its own against. I mean, it beat Mega Lopunny and a whole bunch of other stuff. It did a lot of. I think that it could end up being really good, but it seems like people are just rolling into their own team with whatever they have. It looks like we have another tier 2 pick with Victini.
The fire psychic type, right? From Gen 5?
Yeah. Um, I always thought it was a good Pokemon, but if it's in tier 2, it means it's a little bit less than stuff like Jirachi or Mew. So I don't really know. I guess it's just a solid overall Pokemon. I have no idea. What?
You want to know a fun fact about Victini?
Sure.
I have no prepared jokes about Victini.
Oh wow, that's actually a super fun fact.
Fun fact.
That's got me interested in some other facts. What do you have prepared jokes for?
So like, uh, if you picked a Jinx, I could be like, whoop, canceled, right? Like canceled.
What's really selling the humor is how unprepared it is.
Oh, we've got Eric. Wait, also, I just want to point out that James is now putting Eric's picks in the chat. That feels like so we've got Galar Wheezing.
Yes, that's a steel poison type, I think. It's Wheezing with the top hat.
It is. It looks like a gentleman.
He is. Very scholarly.
Is he also powerful in the meta, or what are we looking?
No, he is not. He's not that bad either, but he's not great.
He's not one of the ones where that would really like put a pin. Now, because James entered this pick, do you think it's... Oh, no, James is entering all of the picks for Eric, so now that I'm scrolling back through. No, Eric started at his own Discord. I don't know what's happened here. You think it's possible that James has taken the competition to a new level?
It's true. I'm sure he subdued him. Somewhere? Yeah, I'm sure Eric is locked up in some sort of sexual prison cell right now, as James is picking.
It's not sexual because James wants to do sexual things to him. It's sexual because that's the only type of prison cell they have in their apartment. Like, I don't have real handcuffs. I only have love cuffs.
I had been to their apartment almost like right before the whole COVID-19 thing, and I had heard so many stories about the dildo hung in Chidi's bathroom, and it is unfathomable. It is so high up, he could not have put it up there, and he can't reach it.
Does it have a sucker cup? Did he?
Yeah. It's like suctioned onto very high up. That there's no way he could have reached it, and I just wonder what's the point of it.
Why is his bathroom so tall?
Well, he's very short. But yeah, I don't know. He's got a nice bathroom though. It's got like a hot tub in it and stuff.
It looks like we answered our question about. It looks like you can pick Tyranitar separately from Mega Tyranitar.
Oh yeah. I just didn't know if you could have them on the same team. You can do this. Yeah, my bad. I misunderstood your question.
Followed up by Porygon 2, and I'll just go ahead and say it. Fuck the whole Porygon Lin. I hate him.
So I had run. So Phil is a friend of Shelby's. So I've barely interacted with Phil in person. A lot of these people I had played Pokemon with at some point in time in my life, and then lost to very handily. They absolutely kicked my ass. But Phil...
Charizard Mega X, so we got basic pick. You know who's basic here.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's the dragon one. So he really liked the anime. I was saying that my brief experience with Phil in Pokemon, where he absolutely destroyed me in a Pokemon match recently, is I think Phil knows what he's doing. So while I don't know anything about Porygon 2, except I think it's from a Pokeball in Melee, I assume Phil picked it because it's a good Pokemon, and that he has a good idea.
I'm pretty sure in Smash Bros. Melee, Porygon Z comes out of that.
Oh, I believe you. I'll believe you if that's what happens.
Because it's the round one, right?
Is Porygon 2 not round? I don't even know what Porygon Z looks like. Or Porygon 2 looks like if it...
Yeah, no, we're all here trying to figure out which Porygon's which. Okay, yes, I was wrong. Porygon 2 definitely comes out of a ball. Porygon Z is the one that started doing the YMCA dance.
Okay.
Which really just begs the question, why did Porygon 2 have to evolve at all? Why could we just left it in the in the bowels of whatever Gen 4 or whenever Porygon evolved.
I guess it had to have been 2 if it was in Melee.
It was Gen 2. You're right. Man, my Porygon information is just real low.
And you can tell how much you care about it.
I just hate the whole shtick. Internet Pokemon or whatever. It's made of data. Like, come on, man. If you're going to give me a data Pokemon, just make it Agumon. Let's have fun.
Let's have fun, dude. I'm never going to say no to Agumon. Agumon, Greymon, Wargreymon. Let's do it.
Now, the Flygon that Milo tried to pick last round and switched out, and then even after that aggressively broadcasting what he wanted, nobody decided to hate draft Flygon.
I guess nobody really wanted Flygon. Again, this is probably how Cheaty is getting away with a lot of these basic picks, is because people are not picking things conventional, I guess. He's being very conventional.
JB, we're looking for the rainy day. I'm looking for a Mega Blastoise here. That's where my...
I think it might be Mega Swampert. I think if James has the info that I have, that Mega Swampert is supposed to be insane in the rain, then
nice.
That he's gonna pick that. If not, I don't know what else you end up going. What you end up picking, because I guess the idea is that your rain team gets set up and then everything just hits really fast, really hard, and kills your team. You don't have to worry about having non-water types in coverage and stuff. He picks Mega Blastoise. You were right, and I'm the fool.
Who is the expert on Pokemon drafting now?
You are.
Gotta catch these hands, Drew.
It's all right. Oh.
I hope he gets Swampert the next time so we can both be vindicated.
Oh, he can't have... maybe he can have 2 Megas. I guess it's just not going to be free.
How many points does he have to spend? 400?
Yeah. Oh, but he minus 180, so whatever that math is.
He minus 180 twice. He paid for both Ferrothorn and Pelipper.
Oh, shit. So that's minus math that I don't know how to do anymore.
Yeah, no, it's like 200 something. It's like 360. I think he's out of money.
Yeah, it is 360. Yeah, so he has 40 points to buy a Mega. Because you can see Mega Charizard was 40 points.
All right, what I'm doing right now is I'm Googling what a Zero Aura is. And after all of our jokes about Digimon, I've just found one. This is a Digimon.
Is this another Ultra Beast?
No, it looks like it's from Ultra Sun and Moon, and it's just a Digimon. Like, I don't know how else to describe this other than...
Oh, I do know what this is.
Tell me I'm wrong. Are you gonna look at me and tell me that I'm...
No, I'm not. It's like a weird cat monkey thing. Yeah, I forget how this came out. This came out in between games.
Yeah, if this isn't a champion level, or maybe, you know what? No, this is like a
rookie level.
No, this is definitely like an ultimate level that like Leomon can evolve into. Like it's a divergent Leomon tag.
Oh yeah,
that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Get a little bit smaller when they're ultimate. Also, just shout out the pick of Mega Heracross, which is fucking. I just love the Heracross lineage.
Heracross is a very cool, very popular Pokemon from Gen 2. I always thought it was a really cool Pokemon. I don't know jack shit about Mega Pokemon unless they were used last Draft League. A lot of my Pokemon info comes from the Draft League and then spending hours and hours asking Greg really annoying questions.
So I've played a lot of the games. Mega Heracross's special ability is it hits for the maximum number of hits for moves that have multi-hits.
Shit, I love that. Like, Cloyster has that stuff.
Yeah. So, like, if you were to do, like, a Fury attack for Mega Heracross, it hits 5 times every time.
That's the bug move, right? That multi-hits.
Exactly. So,
makes sense.
It's Mega ability, which makes for kind of, like, an annoying time raising it, because if you're not going Mega every single match, then it's just got a bunch of silly bitch-ass attacks. But,
yeah,
fair
enough.
in a format like this, great time.
Oh, looks like we have another bug being picked. Rebumby. I guess that's Fairy, right? I think so. I think so.
Looks like it's nervous to confess its love to you.
Yeah. Which would make it endearing, but I think whenever I think about this stuff, I think, what if these Pokemon existed in the real world, and I don't want a giant bug near me in the real world? I'd throw up.
You throw up. Do you have a lot of bug anxiety?
No, but if you think about it, it got brought up to me when I was in high school. Someone's like, just imagine an ant the size of a human. It's got like all of its hair and it's like its big gross eyes and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I don't need to see that in real life.
Honestly, that's one of the reasons why I like Durant as much as I do. Durant is a pretty garbage Pokemon in my opinion, but I like it a lot because I just like picturing how cool it would be if I had like a swarm of those like doing things.
Oh,
Like you would be able to, oh man, just a bunch of steel ants like the size of small cars, be a great time.
yeah, actually, I think. Am I crazy? Oh no, never mind. No, you're right. Durant is bad. I was like, I thought Durant was good, but no, you're right.
I know from a perspective of so my general sense of if a Pokemon is good or bad is if I got bored trying to power level one uh, in the normal game. So like if I'm playing the normal game and I pick up like for example Pelipper, right? Pelipper in Gen 3 when it came out, I wanted one real bad because I was born in North Jersey, so being Jersey trash, I love seagulls. They are like they like when I look into the eyes of a seagull, we like know one another. I'm like, I see you, Jonathan Livingston. And so when I saw that there was a seagull Pokemon, I was like, hell yeah, a whole party of them. I'm just gonna ride around the region, just stealing people's French fries and having a lot of fun. And then Pelipper, its only abilities that really dealt a lot of damage were like Surf, and then it could do the stockpile thing. And
Yeah,
I wasn't there for it. It was a lot of effort for normal matches.
I do see a lot of similarities between you and Seagulls, Greg. Mainly the shitting on kids.
Oh my god, just a great time, and just not having respect for other people's spaces. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we are as a people in New Jersey very assertive. That's the polite word for rude to a fault.
Yeah.
So it works out pretty well.
Yeah. It's really funny actually. So let's see, what do we got? We have Brit didn't type in Rimbombi, so I guess he just said it in the call because you can see who's in the call. At least I can on desktop. And Cheaty isn't here, so maybe he just gave James like a list.
I think they're probably just in the same room yelling at each other.
Oh, that's probably what happened.
At least that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah, me too. But so we have Brit's got a second Pokemon to pick. While we're in the downtime, do you want to do that future side bet? You want to do that future bet?
Sure. Future side bet. Let me just roll through real quick.
Okay.
So I'm not going to pick Greg because he won last time because that just kind of sucks. So I'm going to go based on Pokemon that I like.
Fair enough.
And based on Pokemon that I like that are in like my top, which I have well documented. I'm going with Jeremy. I like Jeremy's team. I like Aegislash a lot. I like Tyranitar. I like Garchomp. There's a lot of really good shit there.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Now I would go with Mike, normal Mike, because he's like the most intimidating person. He almost won the league, and he does really well. But I'm ride or die with my boy James, no matter what.
So so we both went with the shtick parties. We've got Sandstorm Party and Water Party.
That's true, but I would have picked James no matter what. I'm ride or die. He's got the heart. James goes up. James is a very interesting. Everybody here, I've seen a lot of these guys play already.
Yeah.
And James is one of the few people who, when he goes up against somebody whose team outclasses him and whose skill outclasses him, he goes to the wire. He's the Philadelphia Eagles. He gets right there every time. He plays to their level. But then when he plays against somebody he should beat and just wash, it goes to the wire.
So he really is the Philadelphia Eagles.
He is the Eagles. There's never a clean sweep one way or the other when James is there. But he's got the heart. He's got the heart. You gotta respect it.
I do. I respect the hell out of James Boys. Shout out to James Boys.
Shout out to James Boys.
Listening to this. Ooh, Entei. Ooh. Loving it. Probably the first legendary Pokemon I ever liked. I never really liked a lot of the legends. Never a big Mewtwo guy. I liked the dogs. Entei was my favorite dog.
Yeah, Entei was my favorite dog too, but I think it's because of the movie.
Yeah, he was cool in the movie.
He was super cool in the movie. And he was voiced by Dan Green, the voice of Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh!
I didn't know that. That's dope.
All right, Mikey picked Heatran. So Heatran was a Pokemon Carchidi. Another Pokemon Carchidi fought very hard to have in the league. Heatran is a super popular pick. It's also considered one of the best Pokemon you can pick for Draft League. I'm surprised it got picked so late.
So I'm surprised that he let it get that far instead of going for Galarian Weezing, which again leads to my theory that James has physically stopped him from continuing the draft. Tell you what, when we get to like where's Eric around? When we get to like Phil and Wes's pick, I'm gonna call Eric live and see if we can get a live in the booth. Ooh, Donphan. Love a Donphan. Also very cool from the movies. Now, here's a fun fact about Donphan. He showed up in the first movie before anybody knew any Gen 2 Pokemon.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? That was the opening thing.
Yeah, he was in the opening thing fighting alongside like a Machamp and shit, and he just rolled out like a big tire. And I remember sitting in that movie theater going, what the fuck is that?
Oh, man. Yeah,
What's going on? I don't know what Greg's up to. Greg's outsmarting me just with his picks. I feel intimidated by Greg.
Yeah, Greg is one of these people. Greg had this whole team of Pokemon, and I went through this whole conversation with him multiple times because I wanted to understand the draft meta and what's going to be happening. And he listed out all these Pokemon he wanted to have and all the strategy he wanted to do. I guess Greg might have thought that I was just going to leak all of his secrets. I haven't told anybody shit until this stream started. Because he hasn't picked anything. He hasn't picked anything he told me he wanted to pick. He's picking weird stuff. And I bet if I ask Greg, like, hey, Greg, what's up with having 2 tier 3s? And what's up with that? He'd be like, oh, no, Dolphin's good. Dolphin's great. James picks Seismitoad.
Love Seismitoad. Love that pick for the water team.
Is that your favorite Pokemon?
What?
Is that your favorite? That's fighting type, right? Or is it? No, it's water ground. Damn it.
Seismitoad is ground water. Yeah, no, he's not. He's not even my favorite ground water. Quagsire gets that because Quagsire looks like a big dumb.
Quagsire is one of my favorite Pokemon. I love Quagsire.
Love Quagsire. But if you can't get a Mega Marshtomp, I feel like Seismitoad is closest in terms of like a beefy dude for that space.
Oh, for sure. This is actually pretty crazy because Ferrothorn and Seismitoad were part of Jeremy's Rain team last draft. So
he's just eating at Jeremy's table.
Yeah.
I hope his Pokemon has the attachment leftovers because it's leftovers.
All right.
Of my favorite Pokemon, so of my top 6 party, like if you were to genie grant me a wish and give me a 6 Pokemon team, the only one that's been taken so far is Heracross.
Dang.
But the other 5 members of my top party are not here, and I don't know if they'll show up or not. I don't know if they're any good in meta. I'll tell you one right now. Hitmonlee is one of my top 6, and I definitely don't think that he's good.
I don't think so either. I'm trying to think because you said Gen 5 has your favorite Pokemon, right?
Yep, Gen 5 has my favorite Pokemon.
And it's got to be a fighting type.
My top 6 party is from, like, a lot of different gens. They're not all from the same... Like, actually, I think they're all literally from different... 1, 2... I just pulled it up.
Gotcha.
3, 4, 5, 6... Yeah, no, I think they're all from different generations. That's pretty wild.
That is wild. Thing. So, there's only... Unless you're the craziest person in the world and you picked Throw or Sock as one of your Pokemon, which I would respect, but it'd be crazy. It'd be wild.
I did not. That's a good place to start your thought process with, and I did not pick Throw or Sock as one of my top Pokemon.
Then it's, I would assume Conkeldurr, but it could be Emboar.
No, so it's neither of those two. You're missing a fighting type from Gen 5.
So you're the dog. You're the dog, right?
Which dog?
Terrakion.
Nope, not that one.
Then this website is lying to me.
Wait, Lantern? Isn't that... Oh, no, that's the water one. For a second, I thought that was a lower form of Chandelure. And I was like, why the fuck did you just pick? No, my favorite Pokemon of all time is Scrafty.
Scrafty. Dang, good job. Good job, Suda. Yeah, you got it. What the fuck? Like, why is that not showing up here on the list?
Because you've got a bad list, but...
there's more to the list. I didn't scroll down. I failed at list reading.
Scrafty, because, well, first off, he's just absolutely balls great in the actual game itself.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Yeah, every time you KO somebody, his attack shoots up. That's amazing.
Yeah, Moxie.
But also he looks like he's the actual type of Pokemon that I would have raised when I was the age of Pokemon trainers. You know what I mean? Like a teen going around on these adventures, right? Like I would have definitely been smoking cigarettes with my Pokemon, and that would have been Scrafty. We would have just been doing crimes and having fun. Join Team Rocket, no big deal.
Okay.
So,
Greg,
I love Alakazam's awesome.
Yeah, Lantern's also probably pretty good. Greg just asked me if we wanted people to stick around to talk about the draft afterwards. Also, we have hit the Phil West part. If you want to call Carchidi. As boringly a third Rotom is picked.
Yeah, and again, chores. I don't get it. All right, I'm calling him live. Hopefully West doesn't pick too fast.
Yeah, hopefully he takes his time.
Hopefully West is away from keyboard. I don't know.
Yo, what up?
Yo, Eric, you are here live with me and Drew. You're our first live call-in competitor. I want to know what your headspace is going into your next pick.
I have no plans whatsoever.
Really?
Nope, not at all. Ooh, what's this actually do? Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Are you currently looking at? Did you just Google what are good Pokemon and you're just deep in there?
That's kind of where I'm at the moment. James is pooping right now, and I'm using his computer.
Nice.
Because I kept losing connection to the internet.
I noticed that he started giving your picks. I kind of thought, see, this feeds into my theory was not that you had just been Googling random Pokemon that you liked. My thought was that you took 3 good Pokemon and then James physically stopped you from picking in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, for the third one. Yeah, I don't know why. Mega Blastoise, but then James colluded with me. Saying
Okay, so we've got collusion live on air confirmed.
Yes, he said he didn't want me to take it because he was going to use it for his team.
Wes just picked a tier 5 Pokemon, Hariyama.
Yeah, he just picked adult James Kang.
Oh, Eric, you're up right now.
Yeah, okay, my guys. I wanted that one.
All right. Who are you thinking? Who are you choosing between?
You never turned off your phone, you dingus.
Yeah, on the phone with Ray right now.
Yeah, who are you choosing between? Who are your 2 in your heart?
My 2 in my heart, they were picked. I didn't look at the list yet. So that's kind of where I'm at in my life.
All right. Here's what I will tell you. Who hasn't been picked? Who's pretty good? Mew.
Mew's pretty shit. Actually, you know what?
What about Tyrantrum? Tyrantrum's cool. He's like a dinosaur, like a T-Rex, but he's also a dragon type.
You know what? I think I'm just gonna go with it. You know what? I like the versatility of you guys' plan. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, guys, hook me up with. You know what? Just screw it. I'm gonna go with Mew. I got
Never in my wildest imaginations did I think I would have an actual effect on it.
It's fun. It's funny seeing those three words. Eric picks Mew.
Eric picks Mew.
Yes.
And Mew. That means you're like the chosen one, man. That's great.
Yeah.
He's versatile. He can learn every move in the game.
Yeah, you can teach him whatever moves you want.
Yeah, exactly. So, given this draft format, I believe he's a strong pick, being able to change up his moveset completely every week to adapt to.
That's true. Mew is like your sideboard.
Yep, there we go. Exactly. He's that ace in the.
That makes sense.
Dude, this is gonna end up working out beautifully. I'm so confident.
So confident. So confident you even bet $5 on it.
Not you had anything to do with it, but.
No, it's true. You do just got me.
Yep. I'm gonna get back to the draft. You guys can call someone else on the phone, so I need to focus.
I definitely will. Focus up, bud. Your next pick's coming soon.
All right, see ya.
All right, that was great. That was a good time.
It was.
Man, I only have so many numbers over here. But we can definitely get James Boyce on our way back.
Yeah. People can also just join our call. Like, I can just invite them to the call.
Oh, like our next guest?
Yeah. Like, I can just right click their name and then invite them to the call we're currently on. But it is funnier to physically call them.
I'm working with a much lower tech solution over here.
Yeah.
I found out, I'm not exaggerating, I found out 18 hours ago that I can open up multiple apps at once on my iPad. I didn't know that power I had.
I'm not going to judge too hard because I didn't have a smartphone until I was 21. And, like, things were so crazy. I had to have the girl I was currently seeing explain everything to me. And then one time, I was over at the Pierce's house, and Justin's phone didn't have the lock on it, like your orientation lock is what it's called. And Josh just made fun of him so hard. And I'm like, yeah, Justin, how do you not know that? And I'm like, how do you do it again? I figured out that you can lock your screen so it no longer turns at age 22.
I had a flip phone for a really, really long time. And
yeah, me too.
Difference. Like, I had a flip phone till I had my first adult, my like post-college, like career ass job. I had been there for 2 years before I didn't have a flip phone anymore. Oh, and it was literally because my aunt gave me an old iPhone. And I'm like, I started to play with it like it was an iPhone, like an iPod. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, I can use apps when I have Wi-Fi, right? Like, that's the way I approached it. And then my dad was like, we can just put your SIM card in there. You can use that as a phone. And I was like, what the fuck? And then then social media ruined me as a person.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was much more interesting before.
So we got to see Hawlucha, which is an incredibly good Pokemon, insanely good Pokemon get picked. And then one of my boys, Excadrill, got picked. One of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 5.
Dude, Excadrill's very cool. Like, it's just, his design is just, it's a dope overall move.
Yeah.
Also, you know, ground type. Like, Jeremy's pretty much, he's here now. Like, it's full blown.
Yeah, and it also has the moves faster in Sandstorm ability.
Nice. That's what we're looking for. Now, here's a question. So, Tyranitar makes the Sandstorm when he shows up. Does another Pokemon have that ability, or does he just have to rely on Mega Tyranitar?
So another Pokemon that does have that ability is something like Hippowdon.
Oh, yeah. Big ground hippo. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Which I didn't know at the time, but I found out that female Hippowdons are all black, and they look dope as hell. They actually look super cool. And that's not like a shiny, it's just female Hippowdons.
It's Magnezone. Love Magnezone. Probably one of my favorite electric types.
Yeah, so this is great. It looks like Mike is going for just solid, beefy Pokemon. It looks like he's going for Greg's old strategy of having really good Pokemon that's like sort of forming in a draft. Now, you played a lot of Magic the Gathering in your life, and I assume have done a lot of drafts in Magic.
They're my favorites.
When you're building like a draft, do you go for something that like Jeremy or James are doing? Like, you're going for a team, or do you go for like big solid cards? Or do you try to build something specifically?
I definitely... Oh, wow. You're right. Lady Hippowdon is fucking dope.
Right?
So I generally... What I'll do is I will know a set really well. Like, I will look at a set specifically in the context of how good they are in Limited, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's my step one to going to a draft, is, like, know which cards are absolute, like, top-tier cards and which cards are ass. And then pick a couple ones that I like, and then if after 4 or 5 picks there is something obvious, there's like a common thread amongst my cards, I will go all in on the strat, but only if that exists. If that doesn't exist after like 4 or 5 picks, then I will end up just doing, you're right, like some sort of stupid 3 or 4 color bullshit.
Gotcha. So yeah, my experience with drafting is with like Hearthstone, which is much more simplistic than Magic. So like you would go for big minion stuff, and then instead of like a theme, because theme's always like bait. So, but I know Magic's a little bit different. Mike just picked a really good Pokemon. He picked the Skyscraper Pokemon, Duraludon.
Now, in this game, do we have the ability to make it a skyscraper? Like, can it get big, or does it not get big?
No, there is no Dynamax in this mode, which is important, which is why I thought and still think, oh, look at that. That's a Pokemon you really like.
Hell yeah, great job, everybody. Jeremy is just, like, you know what, I'm kind of pissed that Like I'm not pissed that I picked Jeremy. Like Jeremy has not disappointed me since that future bet. Thanks. You're giving me like $5.
So Adam has picked Nidoqueen, a very good Pokemon, and Jeremy's picked Quagsire, a Pokemon we both like a lot.
So what we're looking at here is Nidoqueen. Now, is there an advantage to Nidoqueen over Nidoking?
There's gotta be. There it has to be. Because like I said, Adam is really smart, and he came in, if not really prepared for not to get his very specific team, he definitely knows a lot about Pokemon. Like him and Phil, I think, know more about Pokemon than this group of people did on average at the start of the first draft. Because they're both new to the draft. Like, they both actively wanted to be in here. I'm getting told from my chat that Nidoqueen has a better move pool. Thanks, Pseudo. So...
Next, Gyarados. All right, Eric.
Gotcha. Oh, False Swipe Gaming's a good thing. Good channel. Yeah, so Adam wouldn't pick Nidoqueen if Nidoking was better. Like, he's not a person who picks his favorite Pokemon. He's a person who picks to win.
Gotcha. So he's a contender. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. So Chidi picked Mega Gyarados, so that's pretty cool. I know that's like a pretty good Pokemon that can do a lot of stuff. But also, if he was so easily swayed into picking Mew, I bet he also was easily swayed by James, who likes Wheezing Galar, into picking Wheezing Galar.
Yeah, and who also is, and now that we know from our in-person interviews, we know that James is full-blown puppet master conducting Chidi to not steal the picks that he wants. So it's a safe bet to say now that James did not want Mega Gyarados.
That's a safe bet. So Sirfetch'd just got picked. Now, do you know Sirfetch'd?
I do, yeah. It's Farfetch has an evolution Galar where he's I think fighting type.
Yeah, he's fighting type. He has insanely high crit. He's really fast. He's actually a really good Pokemon. Sirfetch'd is a really good Pokemon. I think he's going to work really well as like a tier 3 pick from West, whose team has some good stuff on it, has some questionable stuff on it. Don't know why we're picking a tier 5 when his tier 1 is still on the table. And
are there any tier 1 Pokemon left?
Oh, there's plenty of tier 1 Pokemon left. Plenty. Hydreigon is still around. Hatterene, Greninja, Dragonite. You got Corsola, Galarian, Cinderace.
Yeah, you talked up that Corsola a lot, and people are not buying.
Yeah, I'm surprised by it. I'm not that surprised. I think that Greg is a very expressionist player. He likes doing things his own way. He doesn't like doing things that other people have done before. And I think Britt doesn't want to use the same team he used the last time. Britt really relied on Corsola Galar last draft, and he didn't want to do it. And I think everybody else might just be not thinking about picking a tier 1 at the moment. But I'm surprised it has not been picked. I think that Pokemon's super good.
Well, maybe it'll be a deep pick for James's water team. Is it Water Ghost or is it just Ghost?
I think it's just Ghost.
Well, then never mind. Fuck me.
Yeah, but you can always just pick something good. I'm surprised no one's really picked anything to stop James's water team. I think it's just too late.
Yeah, at this point, like, what's the point in hate drafting if he has the Mega he wants? If he has Ferrothorn? If he you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So I think James did a great. A great job in leading.
Another one of the Alolan fairies show up. Now I don't.
Oh, Tapu? Is it a Tapu like Finny? Lele. Tapu Lele. So Tapu Lele. Is this the water one? No, it isn't. This is one that just got added to the draft. It's Psychic Fairy.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, I think this one's supposed to be really good. I know the Tapu Finny is a water one that's really good that James might be looking to pick up. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about this because this wasn't in the last draft. Mantine.
We got Mantine out here, which is a controversial choice.
Yeah.
Because, of course, as we know, in universe, Mantine killed Steve Irwin.
Oh, unfortunately, it is heartbreaking.
It was a
Mantine is the
surprise.
enemy of the public.
It was a surprise that Mantine was able to compete this year, but I guess
It's been long enough.
it's been long enough. The
Yeah.
statute of limitations has ended in Australia.
It's true. All right, so Celesteela. Now, this is a Pokemon that Greg ended up using that he really liked, and Greg said was like one of the best Pokemon on his team last draft. This is why I was surprised Greg picked Don Fan and Cole Balian over. This is like supposed to be his a big winning Pokemon. It did a lot of work.
This looks like a Mega Beast. Is this a Mega Beast or an Ultra
Yeah,
Beast?
yeah, it is one of them. It's
No,
Steel
no,
Flying.
I scrolled too far and it got horny. I'm so disappointed in you Pokemon fan artists.
It's
Trying to figure out like the shape of this very unique design with a lot of layers and bamboo and all that stuff, and then somebody drew titties on it.
Well, what else are you supposed to do with a Pokemon, Ray?
Raise them to be your companion and
Yeah, like
also
sexual companion. I got it.
win battles. That's basically what it is. I am the rival from Gen 2. If a Pokemon's not strong, you can get the fuck out of here. And I get all my Pokemon by stealing them from chump professors who don't have good security.
To be fair, I think nobody in the Pokemon universe has really good security. You have to have a 10-year-old save the world every region.
Except for Silphcorp, which had very good security. They had a lot of teleporters. They had a lot to do there.
Yeah. Yeah, so Celesteela was a pick that I was talking about. I'm surprised that it took so long to get picked. But I guess it's going to act a lot like a Skarmory type. Was this a Steel Flying? Overall, pretty reasonable. This website does not tell me a lot of good information about Celesteela. So maybe if I go to this website instead, maybe this will tell me about it.
I'm just looking at Ultra Beasts in general right now because I'm realizing that I do not know what a lot of these things are.
Yeah, I don't either. Again,
there's a bug on steroids that if that's not a Digimon, I'll eat my...
That was like one of the first ones announced. It was that and like the jellyfish.
I like the jellyfish one, actually. The jellyfish one also, like, that feels like a Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't have like a face and a bunch of limbs and stuff. And
also, there's a big square one that looks like a bunch of bricks walking, and that also looks like a Pokemon.
yeah. Yeah, so this is like Celesteela is like it's like a Skarmory. So that's like a Pokemon you give leftovers. It's got Leech Seed and Protect and stuff. And it's just like a big tanky wall, but a really good tanky wall.
I mean, what I gotta say is, why not just pick Skarmory, man? Why not?
Because Skarmory is tier 1, and I guess they only have limited points. Oh no, this was also tier 1. Yeah, maybe it's better than Skarmory.
Maybe. I don't believe it, though. Skarmory's a G.
Skarmory got replaced by a Pokemon in the newest gen called Corviknight, which is also Steel Flying, and it's a bird, but it's also a knight. It's like an armored raven.
Oh, I did see that one's design. It's got a good design.
Yeah. So I think that one replaced Skarmory, and that's also tier 1. Yeah. Skarmory is a really cool Pokemon. I think it's probably a big fan favorite. I really like Skarmory.
Yeah, Skarmory is really, really cool. But, like, what I gotta say here is, like, Corviknight's definitely appealing to my inner goth. Like, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Very Game of Thrones. I'm here.
Yeah. A little off topic while we're just hanging out, I guess, waiting for James to get done fighting Carchidi, was after Game of Thrones ended, like, my uncle came over and he was talking to me, and he was like, hey, I'm like, did you see the end of Game of Thrones? And I'm just like, yeah. He's like, what did you think about the ending? And I'm like, I wasn't that big of a fan. He's like, oh, I loved it. And then he went on talking to me about how much he loved the ending. And I'm like, sitting there having to just kind of like smile and agree, because you don't want to be like, I don't want to ruin something somebody likes if I don't like it, you know? But it was uncomfortable. So Barraskewda is an insane Pokemon. It's incredible. Greg had claimed earlier this week, and a couple other people in the call agreed with him, that this becomes the best Pokemon in the game in rain. So when it's raining...
What I'm looking at here just looks like a...
It is a Barracuda.
Yeah, it just looks like an aggressive fish, which is cool. Like, it's got a good design. I like the design.
Yeah, so it's really, really fast, and it can know a whole bunch of stuff. It's got this move called Psychic Fangs, so it's a psychic physical attack is in there. Close Combat, Aqua Jet, and then this move, which I know what it was, got done to me. Liquidation, which is a really fast water physical move. So he's just, he gets in your face, and he beats you up. But he moves really, really fast because he has Swift Swim.
Yeah, so Swift Swim raises your speed in rain, and its move, Propeller Tail, ignores the effects of opposing Pokemon's abilities moves that draw in moves. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. Oh, damn. Everyone just went super fast back here. So Greg picked up Spirit Tomb, which I always argued is a cheating Pokemon, because it was garbage that Cynthia had it. But Greg
didn't back up with her typing.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Spirit Tomb apart from the fact that Cynthia used it on me back when I played that gen.
Love Spirit Tomb. Love the typing because it's not weak to anything.
Yeah.
Also, Chandelure is dope as fuck. Love
and Chandelure is a very popular Pokemon that a lot of people in this league, I think, really like. It's a very cool Pokemon.
All right. Do you think it's time to call James Boyce since he's going to get another pick soon?
Just want to try. Yeah, sure. Let's call him.
Dope. All right. We're throwing him on speaker. If he's smart, he won't pick up.
No way. James is the homie. He's the homie.
Hey, James, what's going on? You're on live with me and Drew in the commentating track.
Oh, hell yeah. What's up, y'all?
Hey, I still haven't figured out I think the one thing that you're doing that's unique to everybody else is, man, I just can't figure out what your draft strategy is, man. What are you going for here? I can't put it together. You're playing some 4D picks.
Well, so
we just turned into a robot.
Not let it go.
Yeah, James, you got a real bad connection, my friend.
You can't hear any of it. You had such a good setup.
I know. He was probably laying down some fire, too. I feel like James had a great response, but I just couldn't hear a word he said.
That's unfortunate. We'll tell James.
Give me. Sorry, I had to pause the thing. Can you hear me any better?
Yeah, I can definitely hear better. So please, feel free to, again, tell us about where your headspace was when drawing together this party.
I already, like you said, I dropped fire, and I hate to reiterate, but I'll just give you the baseline of what I'm trying to do. Trying to stay loose. Gonna stay fluid. Keep moving.
Keep moving.
Yeah. You don't want to commit to any one strategy. I don't think you don't want to commit to any one strategy.
Yeah, you don't want to overcommit. You want to be ready for anything.
Yeah, because I figure like this is a big draft. There's a lot of people. If I choose one specific thing and I have any single Pokemon like Rodham fucking Mo taken, well, maybe I'll just get a little bit angry. But that hasn't happened.
So who's the Pokemon who, if you could redo this draft and pick a Pokemon that got stolen from you, who are you missing the most?
So right now I would go to Phil from high school's house, sidle up right behind him, snap his neck Metal Gear style, but put him to sleep somehow, and take that Rodham Mow, because I really want that mower.
Yeah, you really wanted that mower?
Really wanted that mower. After that, Mantine, but I can take or leave Mantine.
Yeah, you know what? I think Mantine's controversial. We've already discussed that on the call. I'm not going to rehash my issues with Mantine.
He's good for the island vibes I'm going to.
I'm really just trying to... My main goal here is really just have a chill, tight time and just really sort of chill out.
Listen, I got some grass, I got some frogs. I'm just hanging out with my big fish boy. I do have Cheaty here with me. And
yeah.
I already talked.
Yeah. I did. I called him and bullied him into picking Mew.
Good advice. You know, we gotta switch it up, and I like it. I like it a lot. Well, to be fair, I did bully him out of taking Mega Blast.
I heard about that. Confirmed collusion. If you win this, I'm gonna take your crown away. I'm gonna put an asterisk next to your name.
No, you're not. You're gonna pay me $5.
I mean, I'll just let the air out of your tires. I just got your glass fixed for you, and this is how you do it. Yeah. You know, Pokemon's life. Car to car.
What's funny about this conversation is that James could eat Carchidi.
I think the funniest thing about this is we've had this whole conversation in the space between Brit's first and second.
Yeah.
How, Brit, like, all love. I know everybody operates on different levels, but, like, how do you not just, like, boom, boom when it comes around to your turn in the snake?
Well, I got a little bit of insider trading on for I think he might have picked himself. Yeah, he might have taken Entei to his own detriment before realizing, oh no, I wanted to get something, but I don't have enough points anymore.
Big rip.
All right, we're spending points, so it looks like he's going for broke here.
Are you not in the chat? Can you not hear what we're talking about? No, they're streaming live. Oh.
Crocodile. Love Crocodile.
Reporters sneak into the chat.
Crocodile is pretty
Bronzong.
good.
We've got the big take of Bronzong.
Oh, yeah.
That does a lot of work.
Yeah. Bronzong. Pretty good Pokemon. I'm surprised. I guess Mikey just wanted to pick it now.
Wait, James, before you go, tell me who you're going to pick before you pick him.
Okay, I'll give you guys a little bit of insider trading again, because I'm just so nice. Looks like we're going for a certain, we'll say he's the Mexican Pokemon, Ludicolo.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yeah. If Greg picks Ludicolo right now, I'd lose my mind.
So, wait. Hold on. Hold on, James. James. What Pokemon are you going to make Carchidi pick when it's his turn?
He ain't making me pick shit.
Now, Orbeetle, it looks like that's the psychic one, the psychic bug, right?
I have to go next.
All right.
Have
fun.
See you later. All right, yeah. I actually don't know what Orbeetle is, but that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, Ludicolo is going to be working for his rain team even more because it also makes rain happen when it enters. It's the rain dance Pokemon.
Yeah, Orbeetle is the psychic type. It's like a big ladybug, but it also gives you nightmares, I think.
What the fuck is this? I've never seen this. Is this is it from the new gen?
Yeah, it's new gen, and it's got a big old form. Not mega, but like it becomes like a flying saucer of some kind.
Gotcha, like a Gigantamax or whatever.
Yep, deep in it. Deep in it.
Yeah. No, those boys are always a fun time.
Oh, James went all caps for this most recent pick. He wrote James picks Ludicolo in all caps, so that feels appropriate. Like he was ready for it.
Yeah. My favorite part about the Eric James dynamic is the fact that James is so much larger in height and in mass than Carchidi. So when they argue, it's just like it's like a kid arguing with his parent. The parent's just like pretending like they have a stand.
Yeah. And sometimes James' sake, he's literally pretending that he has a stand.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically what this Discord thing looks like right now. It just says James picks Ludicolo in absolute all caps. It's pretty funny. Yeah, they're going ham. I'm a big fan of what's happening right now. Got some good picks.
Like, you're at the point where everyone's picked their top 6. We're on the 7th pick right now. So everyone should theoretically be happy to go into battle with what they currently have.
Boom. And Milo is now using his points after, because he had used his tier 1, his tier 2, and his tier 3 and tier 4 in Mega Picks. So now he gets to spend some money. He bought Celesteela, which is really good, and then he just picked up Mamoswine. Very good Pokemon. Very cool Pokemon.
Jake has gone ahead and picked non-Mega Skizzer, which is pretty cool.
Cool. And it says Jacob on my list.
Yeah, it looks like Jake picked Jacob.
Yeah.
Which is a pro level move. You actually go in and fight the Pokemon yourself.
Dude, I'd fuck, depending on what like a bug type, if it was actually as tall as it's supposed to be. I mean, Charizard's only like 4'10", so.
Yeah, I'd take Charizard out. I'd choke it out. That just feels like it's all windpipe. I feel like I'd just be
Yeah. I can fuck up a Pokemon.
Fortress, I wouldn't want to fight Fortress. It's made of metal.
That's
floating.
Did someone just pick up Fortress? Did Phil just pick up a tanky Fortress?
Yeah, Phil just picked up Fortress. But yeah, like I'm not here to fight a steel type. I think that anything anything that would be in Whitney's gym from Gen 2, I could definitely beat the shit out of. The whole gym was just Clefairies and Meowths and Jigglypuffs and one very strong milk tank. But I would just run through that thing.
So what's kind of cool about Scizor is really good because it's got Mach Punch and it's really effective against fairy types. So it can be pretty good against fairy types. Hatterene just got picked up by Wes. Hatterene's an insanely good pick, and it's really good for Trick Room. It's a really good Trick Room setup. But I want to talk about Phil's Fortress pick because if Phil goes up against James at the moment doesn't really have a way to get through Fortress. He's like doing all water type shit. And Fortress is, what, Bug Steel? You're going to need...
Bug Steel, baby.
Yeah, you're going to need to do some work to get through some of this stuff.
Yeah, Hatterene, Psychic Fairy type. Also, I think the first time I'm actually like looking at this design, it's interesting. I don't know if I like it or not, but it's interesting.
So it's kind of like Reuniclus or whatever, where it starts off as a little head with a little body. And then its arms grow bigger. Its body's still really tiny, if you can see it. That's its little body, and it's got like this big like hair and arms that make it look like a sexy lady. Where in fact it is not one. I mean, it could be depending on what you value. If you really like long hair and arms.
Yeah, it depends on you. Some people do.
Yeah.
Ooh, love Electivire. Good pick from Eric.
Yeah, very cool. It would be pretty funny to see him pick some absolute like terrible thing, and at that point we would have known that an argument had happened and James had started picking Pokemon for him.
I will say one of the things that I don't know a ton about the new gen, but I will say one of my favorite Pokemon from it is the Dark Fairy Grimmsnarl and Impdimp.
Yeah.
I guess I'm disappointed. I'm realizing now is just not a good Pokemon.
Greg had him on his team last draft that he won with. He was able to make Grimmsnarl do some really good work because it's got some pretty solid typing, and again, it just answers a lot of things. It's pretty bulky too. Does a lot of work.
Yeah. I also like its design and stuff is very cool.
Yeah.
Like he's basically like a Saiyan. He's just like stronger he gets, the more hair he gets.
Yeah, essentially. What's actually kind of cool about Electivire, too, is we talked about Fortress being an answer to James. Electivire is also something that can answer James.
Well, James did go for the ground water types, which is a thing to do when you're dealing with them electric.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. Mew can be pretty good because Mew can now learn grass moves, so...
Oh, it's true. Mew is going to... I think Eric's going to have a lot of fun with Mew. I think that's my bold prediction.
I think that if he... Because you can obviously add and drop stuff in the league. If he drops Mew, we have to break quarantine. Or I'll break the quarantine for you, Ray. We'll go and beat him up.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worth some violence.
Yeah. I know you have a small child, so it's understandable if you can't. But
I think my approach to violence looks like Chestnut just got picked up. One of my favorite starters. Love that big beat badger.
I loved Chespin. Big fan of Chespin. So this is exciting. When I see Phil and Adam pick Pokemon, I always go, and Mike, I always go, oh wow, they know something I don't.
This guy's definitely smart. Shintok, I like as a fairy type. It's just cool. It's got a good design. I like the big hat. I just sent you a meme which I don't know. It gives you something to think about. I don't know if you want to check your phone or not midstream, but
All right, I got it. Oh, on my phone. I got you. I'm all over it.
oh yeah, I just texted you.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, I'm liking it.
It's just the fact that Grimmsnarl and Evangelion look pretty damn similar.
They really do. They really do. They are giant purple triangle, like upside down triangle bodies. All right, so Mike just picked Drapion, and then he picked one of those Mews that we talked about from Gen 4. But yeah, so Shiinotic, really good. It was also another Pokemon, I believe, used by Greg. Really solid Pokemon. This is like the Grass Fairy one, right? Yeah, really good mushroom. Jeremy might be picking it just because he watched that Pokemon destroy him. And so this is another Pokemon that really beats up rain teams. That does a lot of work. And so...
Now, I feel like we're trucking at this point. I feel like most people know what they want. They're just sort of they're just moving quick.
Yeah, or it could be the exact opposite, where they just don't care what they want anymore. And they're just picking like things that they like because they have their main team already.
That's true. A little bit of both.
All right, let's find out. What is Minor? Oh, Minor's the fairy rock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or flying rock. Okay, this is like a reasonable typing. I don't exactly... Let's see. Shields down. Changes the Pokemon in its core form when it hits points below 50%. Before it cannot be affected by status conditions such as burn or paralysis. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's got some sort of shtick. I don't know what the shtick is. But...
Yeah, so when it's above 50% HP, it can't be affected by burn, poison, or paralysis. Or sleep. So that's kind of cool.
Nice. So they'll definitely beat up on Greg's Venusaur.
Yeah. Jeremy and Mike are like the two heavy hitters of last draft. And Britt was like the underdog who came in and beat everybody up. And then Greg beat Britt after Britt did all the work.
You'll love to see it.
You'll love to see it. And so if Jeremy and Mike definitely know what they're doing with their picks. I think they're always pretty confident in what they're doing. They play competitive. I mean, Britt now plays competitive too. But it's gonna be good. I'm excited to watch this over the next month because these guys all know what they're doing. So Barbaracle or whatever, the the Barnacle Pokemon.
Pretty sure he is Gen 6.
Gotcha. I think you're right. Yep, Gen 6. You're correct. Let's see, what has he got? Sniper, Tough Claws. Probably going Tough Claws. It just looks like a physical water rock hitter. That's all. I don't really see anything else. Maybe just like a solid Pokemon at tier 5.
Yeah, it feels like you're just taking good Pokemon, right? Like, there you go.
Yeah, and Mike had picked up a solid Poison type, and Drapion, and Poison is really good. We do see a lot of Fairy types getting picked. Fairy's really popular. It's good typing. And then Mesprit got picked, and it's like a Psychic type, but I just typed Psychic in because I'm an idiot.
I just Googled Psychic. Got some interesting stuff here.
Yeah. It is just a Psychic type. I can't really tell you anything about these Pokemon because they visually didn't interest me, and you get them at like the end of the game, and so I kind of ignored them. So I don't really know anything about them. But they look like Mew. That's about it. Oh, you know what? I should have done this. This is what I've been doing, which is looking it up on the competitive website. Because then they tell you their strategies. So Mesprit looks like it uses Thunder and Psychic, and it can also learn Ice Beam and Energy Ball. So it's got like really good coverage of moves like Mew does. And it also has Levitate, so it can dodge some stuff coming in too.
Nice.
So it's kind of like a quick setup Pokemon. It's probably going to do something similar to Mew, except it was a tier 5 pick instead of 180 points. So a little worse than Mew, or I guess a lot worse if it's 5 ranks down. But it has like some good coverage. Maybe that's why he picked it. So Wobbuffet.
Wobbuffet.
For some
Nice.
reason, I had Woobat on my brain when I read that.
So this is definitely a troll pick from Eric.
Or maybe he thinks that Wobbuffet's just good again.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
I don't think so. If it's tier 5, it probably isn't.
Alola Golem.
That's pretty cool. Normal Golem, well, technically Normal Graveler, is one of my favorite Pokemon. But Golem's pretty cool.
It's got a cool design. Big fan.
Yeah. And Ground Electric is a pretty reasonable typing. I think anything that knows Electric is pretty good here.
So Phil just picked Piloswine, the middle form of Mamoswine.
So, if that's what he seriously picked, I can explain that.
Okay, no, he did.
Yeah, okay. So there's an item called Evolite.
Okay.
And Evolite is if you give it to a Pokemon that's not fully evolved, it gets like crazy buff stats. So like Evolite Rhydon is a really good Pokemon. And so Evolite Piloswine could be a really good Pokemon. As a nice ground type or something. But if he actually uses it, it would have Evolite on it.
That makes a lot of sense. And Ice Ground is also just dope typing. So, like, I mean, is what it is.
That's true. I wonder what else exists in Tier 5 that you could have picked over Piloswine. Because Ampharos, Arbok, Bastodon. I don't think you're really making anything with your Tier 5 picks. So that just might be he just picked up a thing. And that, like, maybe it ends up working.
How low do the tiers go?
Tier 5 is the lowest.
So after if they're not in tier 5, then they're all just absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still pretty confident. I think one of the things that makes this look okay, Wobbuffet is now red for some reason. Don't know why Wobbuffet's now in red. But Jacob picks Salazzle.
Nice. You can poison types.
Oh, that's actually really cool. Don't you like Salazzle a lot, don't you?
Yeah, Salazzle's up there for me. Salazzle is definitely... So, poison's one of my favorite types.
Mm-hmm.
I fuck with poison heavy. It's poison, dark, and fighting are like my tops. And so, Salazzle, I'm pretty sure is in my poison party. Yeah, Salazzle's in there. She's cool.
Yeah.
I like the approach a lot. I like the poison fire. I like the typing, and I also just like the, I like the fact that they can poison types. It just always felt really cool.
That is actually really cool. Yeah. So I think Salazzle is totally reasonable. I mean, it's one of those things like if people are running paper a lot, and so a lot of people start running scissors to beat it. Now you can run scissors that beats paper and scissors, right? So people are running fairy a lot, so folks can now start running poison, and now you can run something that beats poison that also beats fairy.
It's true.
So that's kind of cool. Hopefully Jacob is a little bit more invested. He seemed to have picked last time really good Pokemon, but just didn't really utilize them very well. But everybody apparently now is like really into it and trying as the draft went on and has been building up again to the second season. Everyone seems really motivated, which is why I'm pretty excited. But let's see. We have Milo. Milo looks like he's almost out of money, right? He's got 100 left.
Yeah. No, it looks like Milo is going for broke. I think at that point you just have to buy Pokemon that are 0 points, which are, like Squirtle and Eevee.
Yeah. I forget what the rule. I guess they can stop whenever they run out of points. So that's sort of the idea. But yeah, Milo does have 100 points. He can actually stop now, I think, if he doesn't want to pick up anything else at the moment. But it looks like he's going to be picking something. And/or Greg's just irritated. He's moving back and forth. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, when you get to the end of the draft, do you just like not care like anymore?
It depends on what you've done. So like if I were playing now, obviously the strategies are really different.
Right.
If I were fantasy football, the end of my draft is for the most part, first off, it's depth. So in fantasy football, you want to fill in specific parts of your roster, right? Like wide receivers.
Right.
And drafting for depth of wide receivers so that if one of your big boys gets injured, you have a bunch of options, right?
Yeah.
Also sort of betting on futures with your later drafts as well. So if somebody's coming into the draft as a rookie, right, but he was real good at college ball,
Mm-hmm.
but you have no idea if he's going to be a big part of this team's offense or not. So you're sort of like taking a risk. You know what I mean? You're saying this could be, high risk, high reward, but the lower he falls in the draft, the less of a risk he becomes. You know what I mean? The less of a, high reward, low risk if you're talking about like your 14th pick overall. And also, it's pretty easy to tell who knows fantasy and who doesn't because there's a lot of positions where it doesn't really matter if you get a good player, like kicker.
Right.
A lot of people will try to fill out their active roster first as opposed to going for depth right out the gate. I always go for a lot of depth really early.
Gotcha. You want the people earning you the most, but you want your big heavy hitters cinched and not like making sure the smaller people who aren't earning you that much points like give you the most, right?
Because wide receivers and running backs should theoretically be getting you most of your points, aside from quarterback and tight end, but you only have one of those on a team. So if you're ever at a point in a season in which it's like, week 7 or week 8, and you look at your running backs and you're like, I don't know who to play, I don't have any running backs, you've done a bad job. Yeah. So like that's the type of stuff you want to be prepared for. But that
makes a lot of sense. You want the
this is a different beast.
It is kind of similar. You want the Pokemon that are going to carry you. You want like your big heavy hitter that your sort of team is going to sort of help heavy hit. Your big sweeper, your big stuff. In a sense. Milo picked my favorite Pokemon, which is Whimsicott.
Whimsicott's your favorite Pokemon? That's a unique one.
I love Whimsicott. Its ability is Prankster, and when it showed up, when I learned that it had Prankster, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So it gets to use non-damaging moves, go before everything else, no matter what.
I mean, it's a cool ability. Like, I like Whimsicott's design a lot.
I do too.
I like the big fluff. I like sort of the look. It's cool.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. All my other favorite Pokemon that are not Whimsicott are nothing aesthetically like Whimsicott. Though I do think Whimsicott is super cute and I love him. But all my other favorite Pokemon are shit like Tyranitar and Blastoise and Rhydon and big giant Godzilla monsters.
Who then protect Whimsicott at all costs.
Yeah, and then Lycanroc. Lycanroc really climbed up my ladder of favorite Pokemon. I just really like that dog and that it had a priority rock move. But
so like the way that my favorites work is most of them are fighting type with a couple differences, but like if you were to do like my top 6, like that top party, that is Scrafty, Hitmonlee, Heracross, Alolan Muck.
I love Alolan Muck.
Love Alolan Muck. He's just so fucking good.
So good.
Toxicroak, who I'm a big, and then Tyrantrum because I can't turn down the big T-Rex.
He's really good. Yeah, that's a really great list. Yeah, I think when we were posting our Pokemon lists at each other over and over again, I think Tyrantrum was on my rock team. I think he's one of my favorite rock Pokemon because he's super cool.
Yeah, he's definitely both on rock and dragon for me.
Yeah.
100%. And speaking of dragons, here's one that I haven't seen pop up, and maybe he's just garbage and I don't know what I'm talking about. But like, I haven't seen Komodo, and I love Komodo.
I think Komodo is tier 1, and that's why he's not here. Because people aren't going to waste their tier 1 points on, I guess, a big damage dealer.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, we do have Haxorus being spent by Greg,
who is very cool.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Haxorus, but I guess it's a tier 2 Pokemon and very well liked. James picked Clawitzer, which is a special attacking water type lobster Pokemon, some type of crab from X and Y.
He is. He's got he was one of the Elite Fours, like
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kind of cool. I think that's really good. And I think it has the same ability that Blastoise has, where it gets bonus damage by shooting orb moves like Aura Sphere and other sphere moves. I'm blanking.
Yeah, because it's just shooting them out of its big claw.
Yeah, it is a Clawitzer. Like a Hollitzer thingy. All right, let's do it. Mega Launcher. That is the ability. Yeah, Water Pulse, Dark Pulse. Yeah. So it's going to deal a lot of damage, and hopefully, because it's in water, it deals even more damage. And yeah, it should be pretty good. Yeah, Clawitzer is pretty cool. For a second there, I thought it was Crawdaunt, and I love Crawdaunt, so I was really excited. But
Big Crawdaunt fan. I'm a bigger fan of Sharpedo because they're both dark water types in the same gen, so you sort of had to pick one or the other.
Yeah. I really like a lot of that gen. That gen had really good. Well, most of that gen was water, so I guess it made sense that it had good water types in it. But I do like Sharpedo and Crawdaunt.
That's actually one of the things. So, like, when I talk about my favorite parties, all the parties I have listed out, they're by types. And then the other thing is they're also by, I have generations as well, like regions.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, my Hoenn party, which is Gen 3, is Metagross, Ludicolo, Sharpedo, Aggron, big Aggron fan.
Me too.
Blaziken, and Glalie.
Glalie is pretty cool.
I also have Mega Glalie, because Mega Glalie with the giant fucking mouth open and the shiny red eyes, like, damn, that's good.
So James had, when we did our mono team tournament back when we were in college, James had gotten Glalie, but he went out of his way to make it shiny, so it had red eyes, and because James is simultaneously my best friend and the worst person on the planet, he named it 420 Glaze It.
That's very good. So I gotta be honest. I should start wrapping this up because it is 10 p.m.
That's fair.
So it's time for me to hit the old dusty trail. Is that messing up your stream at all?
No, that's fine. It was awesome having you on, Ray. I'm gonna be busy this week, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do live commentary at a normal time. But if you ever want to commentate some of these games, you can just see them in the Discord, and then if I'm around, I'd love to commentate with you. We can talk about this stuff. It's really exciting. It's actually really fun.
Dude, I'm absolutely down. Text me. We'll figure it out. And yeah, man. Nice going through the draft with you.
Yeah, always nice talking to you, Ray. All right, man.
Yeah, man. See you, bud.
Yeah, you too. All right, big shout outs to Ray. Ray's great. And we're going to just be going through a little bit on our own now, but it's going pretty fast. We're going to be talking, let's see, Comfy just got picked. So we're going to go through here. Again, I'm more of the gameplay guy. Make some pretty good, crazy stuff. Yeah, this is the fairy grass type, or is it just fairy? Let's find out. It's just fairy. Yeah, I think we are in this motion that that people are just kind of picking, like, whatever picks. I feel like their teams are kind of already set in stone. And you got to be looking at this list and thinking, oh, wow, man. Britt's first pick was Slowbro. So it's got to be like a Trick Room thing, right? That he's going for. Otherwise, I do not know why else you would be picking that. First pick of the draft. But it is what it is. There's a raccoon outside my window. I'm just watching him knock over my trash cans. That's very cool. Let's see. Tropius. Wobbuffet has just been switched out for Tropius. So I don't think Wobbuffet was a pickable Pokemon. We're going to go down on that prediction. I'm going to see. We're going to try and get some people in to talk to us later. Okay, all right. See if people want to explain some of their stuff. Because I'd love to talk to some people about what their plans are. Unfortunately, we don't have Unfortunately, we don't have Ray anymore because he is a working adult with a baby. But right now we have Zatsu picked. I believe this is it for Brit's points, right? We have 140, then that's 340, and then 400. So all 400 points have been used. Yeah, Pseudo, that's a good idea. I think for a lot of people, that might be what Pillow Swine is there for. Is trying to round out your edges. In this draft, you can also add and drop Pokemon. So if you drop your tier 1 pick, like Mikey's Clefable, you can then get a tier 1 pick to replace it. I believe that is how it works. That's how it works. Excuse me. Mikey, by the way, had picked up the Poison Seahorse from, I think it's a Poison Dragon type. Oh, I did not know that. So that's good. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, it's been a while since I watched False Swipe Gaming. I didn't really get into Pokemon until this draft league started a month or two ago. And that's when I really got back into Pokemon. And it's been really cool to watch because seeing people compete is really energetic and they're trying really hard. It's the loudest garbage disposal in the world that may or may not be being picked up on the microphone. What's this? Do I have music? Do I have music? I probably do. We can just put on a little bit of some background music so we don't have Ray anymore, which is a shame. Ray's actually pretty cool. He's a really good dungeon master, and then he also made Pokemon Master Quest. He made new rules for it that made it like an adult game. Really good. Really into Pokemon, or used to be. Let's see, Palo Sand. Yeah, Pseudo, they're really, really fun. Really cool. I'm not very good at competitive Pokemon. My skills rely in gaming much more on reflex than on strategy. So I am really, really good at things that require fast hand-eye coordination. And Pokemon doesn't. I get read very, very easily. Yeah, so Greg just used the... so Mikey used his tier 5 pick to pick up the Ghost Ground-type Sandcastle. I don't know anything about it. But Greg did pick up the Iceman, the Snowflake. And James just got skipped. So I guess James is out. And Oricorio, which is the bird, just got picked. I wonder if that is the bird, right? It's a gimmick. Do you know, there we go. That should be a lot better. Do you know, like, what the gimmick is? Yeah, this is the bird. I don't know if you're dedicated to if you're limited to what bird you are picking. If you're base, Palu, Pom-Pom, or Sensu. But if you can switch between those, that would be really interesting. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, it could be its ability, Dry Skin. Probopass just got picked up by Jake. Really good. I think Probopass is a pretty useful Pokemon. So while we're waiting for people to pick, we can just go down some styles. Again, unfortunately, Jake ended up coming in last place, but he also didn't take the draft that seriously. And you got to think that he probably invested a little bit more. He picked some pretty good Pokemon. So I'm expecting a little bit or a lot more effort. That sounds like such like a shitty thing to say, but I'm excited for Jake to play. I think he's trying a little bit harder. Like if he wasn't interested, he wouldn't play, right? So I think I'm expecting some good things. I'm really hyped about some of these picks. And like I've been saying, who labels this chill Pokemon? Who labels that chill Pokemon and then plays the battle theme? Anyway, Duo Blade just got picked. Yeah. So Wes just picked Duo Blade. Phil picked Venomoth. Yeah, again, there's some interesting picks. It's interesting to see when things were picked. I think the biggest one being Brit's slow bro in the beginning. And maybe people will not be so open to talk about some of their picks out in the open just yet. Yes, I believe so. You're not doing any damage with the Venomoth. So I don't know exactly what you would use Venomoth for. Again, if the Pokemon was not used in the draft league last time, I don't know anything about it. And last draft, they had a limit on what Pokemon they were. You could only use Pokemon available in Gen 8. Now they've changed it. Now the draft is all Pokemon from all gens are now available, except for the ones on a banned list. So no Ubers. All the Ubers are banned, and then certain other Pokemon have been banned. What was talked about earlier is Darmanitan Galar is banned unless it is in Zen mode, which was things that people had voted on based off of previous experiences in the draft league. So as the draft league continues, things are going to be changing a little bit more. And I'm going to be making YouTube videos and stuff like that of these battles that will either be commentated by me or me and Ray or whatever, because all these things are going to be happening throughout the weeks, and I'm not always going to be streaming. Yeah. So it looks like we've moved on from Cheaty to Adam. So you got to think that Cheaty also picks. Yeah. Yeah, you have a pretty interesting team. I really like a lot of this stuff that you got going on. Surfetched, Tyranitar, Rotom Wash, Trick Room Heavy. No, that's Wes. That's my boy. Wes, do you want to get in a voice call and talk about it? Because I've got some questions about Hariyama being picked round 5. All right, hold on. Crambominable. Crambominable was a pretty cool Pokemon. I'm not against it. But Adam does know. Adam's a guy who's put a lot of research into Pokemon, so while I don't know a lot about it, I have like a lot of faith in like what he picks. Like if James had picked Crabominable, I would be like, oh my god. This isn't... He's just memeing. Looks like Phil was using his last turn to pick Magneton. I've never really played a lot of Showdown. There is a different Showdown league that was happening, but I'm actually not going to be participating. Oh, let's go. Oh, let's go, people who want to come in for fun. Alright. Is there a way that I can... Alright. Or just be here. So before I log off and get out of here, I want to say a few things. I thought this stuff was pretty interesting. One, I'm very excited for the draft. If you guys are excited, you don't have to worry about catching up on everything on Discord, people in the draft watching at the moment, because we'll have like recap videos that show some stuff every week. Hopefully we are able to continue to do that. But I thought some stuff was very interesting. One, I think Jake was one of the few people that brought up Mike Benet as a threat. I think there was like some sleeper talk. I think it's interesting that whatever Adam said in that draft made everybody scared of him. I think that's pretty interesting. Nobody's really mentioned Wes. And I think what's going to be interesting is there do seem to be a lot of heavy hitters that maybe people are like worried, or maybe more people are confident. I think that's really fascinating. I think Greg is taking a lot of looks because of previous experiments. A lot of previous experience against Greg. He did win. And Greg is also very confident in his team of goofs and goombas that like maybe a lot of people aren't particularly whatever, but then you see Greg like coming walking in with his like mid-tier and you're like, oh shit, and he's that confident and he just sweeps. I don't know, it's interesting. I think a lot of people didn't really bring up Jeremy, and I think even if the sand thing doesn't work out, he's got some pretty strong stuff going for him. He does have Aegislash and Excadrill, and he's got 3 tier 1 units, right? And a really good Mega. Everybody kind of looks pretty serious and involved, and that's really exciting. It is really exciting to sort of look and see people with like that's true. No, big shout outs to the mushroom. The mushroom did legit carry Pseudo. The mushroom did work. Yeah, Amoongus is also in the draft once again. This stuff is really exciting. I am looking over at where my mic isn't, so I got really quiet. And the matches just got announced? Is that what happened? Or maybe it just should be? Yeah, Mushroom versus Mushroom. I think so. I think this is really cool. I think it's really cool that everybody is, like, fired up. That's fair. Fair enough. But Amoongus did a lot of work. I'm excited. I really want to see some stuff happening. The one thing that I don't want to see is like a team just fall to pieces. I'm only afraid of people losing and then like losing steam, because this is like one of those things that happen to me a lot where I get really pumped up, really excited, really want to do it, and then I get like 1 win, 2 wins, and then I lose, and then I'm out. I'm gone. And that would be like a huge bummer, because everybody, you guys all heard, everyone who showed up and talked is like really excited to play, really into it. Britt's really excited. Mikey's really excited. Greg's really excited. JB's really excited. Milo, Jake, Phil, Wes, Adam, Mike. Everyone's really into it. We didn't hear from Jeremy because he's away, being an adult and whatever. And we heard enough from Cheaty. Cheaty has one of my favorite highlights. Cheaty's a crazy player. He's wild, but he's good, right? We meme on Cheaty in the friend group, but he's really good and really smart. really intelligent person. When he wants to put in effort, he's very scary. And that's what's exciting, I think. Yeah. We don't know, but it would have been pretty good. Maybe he'll use him in the first game and we'll see what the meteorite can do. But I think it's just because it was like a rock type and there's like sand involved or something. I don't really know. But I'm very excited. This has been pretty fun. I'm getting tagged. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Milo. This is very exciting. This is super fun, 4 hours. So the way this is going to work for video footage and stuff like that is that this thing is for fun. So you can't just have everyone play when Ray or I feel like commentating, obviously. So people are going to play whenever they want, however they want. And it's going to be the same thing as last time, where if I know there's a game and it's not Anime Saturday and I'm not doing this other thing specifically this week that I'm going to be busy doing, I'm going to stream it. And if not, probably I'm going to pick a day out of the week, maybe Friday. Friday seems pretty good, or maybe just Sunday. I'm going to go through all the games I haven't streamed already, and we're just going to watch them. And I'm going to stream it live, but the games aren't going to be live, right? Because everyone's going to have their games recorded. And then I will have a highlight video of that stuff, of all the cool stuff happening, and then we'll have who won what and who's got the whatevers, all the information that you can find here. You know, you can see the standings and stuff here. But if you're like me and you never click this tab and you only click the rosters tab will be filled out. But if you click this stuff, you know, that makes a lot of sense. 5 more days until Anime Saturday. I know. I really want to play Danganronpa. But that's going to do it for me, guys. Go look at the draft. Thanks everybody so much for watching. Yeah. It's midnight. Have a good night. See you guys later.